All right, Dave, you ready to do it?
Let's do this thing.
Bring it on. Coming down in 3, 2, and 1.
Hi, I'm Mike Keller.
And I'm Dave D.
And this is XP Deus
Team USA.
Here it is.
Yes. 1868 Indian.
The Deus strikes again.
What a hand.
Okay, I'm now on the XP test bed.
Hi, and welcome to XP Deus Team USA. I'm Mike Counter along with Dave D. Nantelli, better known as Dave D in the metal detecting world, and we are your hosts of this new program that will focus on the XP Deus metal detector. We are on the beautiful campus of St. Obert College in De Pere, Wisconsin, a nationally ranked liberal arts college. The goal of the show is to inform, educate, and have some fun along the way. We are building a team from across the USA along with expert Gary Blackwell from XP Deus Skills School, who will be helping us tell the Deus' story. You too can be a team member. More on that later in the show. Dave, we've been planning, organizing, working on this show for several months, and we're finally doing it. It's here, XP Deus Team USA.
Absolutely, Mike. I'm excited. I know that Gary and the guys over there at XP are excited. I've been talking to some of the Deus users in the last couple weeks. They're excited.
Some people may be wondering, why are we focusing strictly on the XP Deus?
Well, I've been talking to Gary Blackwell over at XP the last couple months, and they're making a big push here in the United States, and they're looking to be a little bit more visible. They wanted to strengthen the relationships between the users and the dealers, and vice versa.
Full disclosure, Dave, I've been metal detecting for roughly 30 years, but I'm new to the Deus. I've only had it for 3 or 4 months, been out about 3, 4, 5 times, have found some great finds with it, but I'm a newbie to the Deus. You've been using the Deus for quite a while. What is it about the Deus that you like?
Well, a couple of the obvious reasons is the weight. It is super light.
5 pounds, something like that? Under 2 pounds.
And the compactability, I mean, I can literally break this down to where it almost fits in my briefcase. So if you're on a flight, you could actually put this in the overhead without worrying about getting damaged or stolen.
The ergonomics of this machine are fantastic, and you're right about the weight. I mean, your wrists, your forearms don't get sore. You can swing it all day long. To understand the XP Deus, we have to first learn how it came to be. For a history lesson, let's travel across the pond and check in with Gary Blackwell of XP Deus Metal Detectors Skills School.
Hi folks, Stephen has sent us in a letter to say, hi Gary and all at Team XP USA. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of XP? Very good question. Let's go. Back in 2000, Alain Lubert and a small team of friends produced the very first machine. It was called the XP Adventis. It had a metal box and proved very, very popular amongst the French detectorists. It wasn't long before the team had to move into a bigger premises in Toulouse, and this is where the story starts to happen. In 2003, the next 2 machines to come off the production line were the G-Max and the Gold Max, and they were plastic boxes, but the performance really took Europe by storm. In 2004, we saw the first wireless headphones, lithium batteries, compact, foldable, a high-speed digital radio link. No one else could compete with this technology. Then in 2006, the Gold Max Power, G-Max 2, Adventis 2, ADX 250 and ADX 150 were released. Faster performance, and they had the built-in wireless transmitter to accommodate these new headphones. Then in 2010, we saw the XP Deus, the very first wireless detector. It had radical looks, but the adjustments won people over. Fast reactivity, multi-frequencies, and it was so light, around 800 grams. Again, it had new wireless headphones called WS4s and free updates via the USB port. This machine is what the world was waiting for. It really was something special. The production line went from strength to strength. Robotic coil production and super light resins were the main order of the day. Each coil was tested and tuned by a robot, making sure perfection was achieved every time. We can't talk about the Deus without mentioning the telescopic S-stem. It was the first one in the world, a truly telescopic, fully collapsible stem. By this time, XP had a wide range of options available. There was 10 versions of the Deus to suit all budgets, and we saw the introduction of the WS5 headphones. Now in 2015, XP brought out the new lighter coil. You can tell the new coil because it's got the white Deus decals. It went from 450 grams down to 340 grams. In 2015, the total weight of the Deus was only 800 grams. And the reason why these machines are so light is because XP uses the very latest technology. Miniature circuit boards and miniature batteries, all in a lightweight, compact package. And then we saw a massive step for XP. They saw a new gap in the market and brought out the MI6 pinpointer, the high frequency white coils, and a new software update. All the MI6s are made in France. Demand was so great we had to make our own section of the factory just dedicated to the MI6 probes. The MI6 was waterproof, it was tested to 7.5 meters, and it also floats, so it's very popular with underwater searchers. And of course, not to mention, it's rechargeable and links directly with your Deus. New high frequency coils and version 4.1 software has really moved XP to another level. People are now understanding the advantages of high frequencies and how they can adapt them for their own search scenarios. Well, as you can imagine, things move on and you need more space to keep up with demand. So XP decided to build a new factory next to their existing factory in 2017. This new building is going to be a part of the new research and development department. Well, that's it. That's a brief history of the XP factory and how they've evolved from the Aventis right up to the Deus, and who knows for the future. Back to you guys in the studio.
Gary, thank you very much. Dave, it's amazing when you think about the fact that Deus hasn't been around that long, 18 years, but yet from a company standpoint, their technology is state of the art.
That's right, the Deus was first to go all wireless. That means the coil, there are absolutely no wires, the coil, the controller, the headphones, and even the pinpointer.
And Deus is really trying to make a name for themselves right here in the USA.
Oh, they're big all over in Europe. You know, you got France and England, they're hunting gold in Africa, so it's very popular.
And that's part of the reason why we're doing this show, to help get that name out in the US. While we're eager for all the snow to melt here in Wisconsin, we have an incredible find to show you from the UK. Let's check in with Gary Blackwell from XP Deus, where a Canadian detector has struck gold, or in this case, a hoard of silver.
Well folks, over in the USA, Team Deus America, look what we've got. We've got an ancient hoard, and this guy found it. Darcy, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing here in the UK? Because you're not British.
No, well, this has just been a dream of mine to come to the UK and metal detect. It's kind of on my bucket list. So I've been here for 5 weeks, and I've got 1 week left before I go back to Canada, back to work. So it's pretty special to find a hoard. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what the hoard is? Obviously it's wrapped up and still in situ, but I can see some Commonwealth coins.
Commonwealth from Civil War coins.
Civil War, wow.
Yeah, there's probably 300-400 coins in there, maybe more, I don't know.
Wow. So,
I mean, this one, I can take one off the top.
ah, cool.
This one here is beautiful. It's a Charles, I think. I think there's a whole bunch of those in here.
Yeah, and you're with the Midweek Searchers?
Midweek Searchers, yeah.
Group, and anyone can come and detect here? Yeah?
Anybody can come, yeah. You just
That's fantastic.
follow the rules and you do it
Yeah,
right, and,
yeah.
and everybody gets along. It's really a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
That's so much fun while I've been here.
Yeah, and I believe the find was in a pot.
Oh, it's in a pot, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the pot, the top is broken off, but we've got the rest of the pot out in one piece. So there's kind of the top of the pot, or the edge of the pot. It's absolutely gorgeous pottery.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. So it's Who knows when it was buried? Probably. There's a piece at the top of the pot. The handle's broke off.
Yeah.
But,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you're using the XP Deus.
XP
Yay!
Deus, absolutely.
What do you think of the Deus?
Well, you know, I've used Whites and I've used Garrett's and I've used Tesoro. But when I bought the Deus, it's just a whole different level of metal detector. I've been metal detecting since I was 18, and this is a totally different level. So sensitive. It takes a little practice.
Yeah, and how deep was this board found?
Well, it was 34 centimeters. I'm not sure what that is in inches. It was such a weak signal, but a good signal. That's why I dug it. It didn't sound like iron. So I just dug it, and I saw the pottery, and I knew what I...
Brilliant. And just for the viewers over there on the show, what program were you using?
I'm using this hot program that I think you designed. Somebody else put it on my metal detector for me because I didn't know how to, and I've just loved it. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Congrats to Darcy on his remarkable find, something we all dream of doing one day. Let's head back inside to the studio where Dave D is standing by to take us on a road trip in the U.S.
In fact, Mike and I were able to travel to a small town in Indiana to detect with Sonia Harshman, better known as XP Sonia. And we found out what attracted her to metal detecting, the XP Deus, and what rural hunting is all about. So you hunt predominantly fields.
Right.
Is that by choice or by the area that you live in, or?
It's by choice.
Yep.
It's by choice, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of fields here, so, you know, that helps. But the group I joined, there's a lot of field hunters, and it's just what I like to do. I mean, I just like to be out in the country and to find, you know, the things that you find. It's not just, there's hardly any trash and, you know, lots of old stuff. I mean, if you can get on those old sites, you can find some good stuff.
Well, what got you into the hobby of metal detecting?
Well, I moved out here about 4 years ago, and there's an old house here, as you can see, that has a cabin in it from 1851.
Wow.
So it got me curious as to, you know, what might be in the ground here.
So, I mean, you're one of the few females that are in this hobby. How do you feel about that? I know they call it a male-dominated hobby, but I see there's a lot of women getting more and more involved.
There's absolutely more and more every day. You know, it's kind of, when I first started, there wasn't a whole lot of women in it. And there was a couple, you know, but not a whole lot. But I joined a club, and there was probably 4 or 5 women in it, and they helped me, you know, get going in it and everything. And then as I joined Facebook groups, you know, there's getting to be more and more, so.
So you're using the XP Deus, and you've been hunting with it for a couple years now.
Right.
What made you decide to work with the XP Deus, and did you work with something else before that?
Yeah, I started with an Ace 250. I had it for 3 weeks. And then I went to the AT Pro. And I had it for about a year, and a buddy that I hunted with, he had the XP Deus. So one day I just went over and kind of picked it up and, you know, just kind of swung it around, and it was just so light. And I thought, you know, that's what, I didn't want to spend any more time learning the AT Pro because I knew I wanted the Deus. So I thought I might as well just go ahead and get it, you know, and just learn with it. So, and glad I did.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give a woman who wants to get into the hobby?
I would say don't be intimidated, don't be scared, you know. I've had a lot of men be very supportive, you know, they like to help you. They'll do anything they can. When I first started, I didn't know what anything was. I really didn't. I didn't know how to read maps or do any type of research at all. And if it wasn't for the men, I wouldn't be where I am. And that's the truth. So if any women are interested, by all means do it. You know, do it. You'll enjoy it.
Dave, Sonia really knows her way around the fields in Indiana. She's had some remarkable finds in the roughly 2 years she's been using the Deus. What's her secret?
I think it's the love for the hobby. And plus she gets to get out 5 or 6 times a week.
It's a bonus.
She has a plethora of farm fields to choose from, but most important, she does her research.
And one thing I noticed while we were in Indiana is that she looks at the VDI numbers. They're important, but they're not everything. Tones are very important with the Deus and all machines, really.
Yeah, you can adjust your Deus to 1-tone, 2-tone, 3-tone, pitch, or full tone. So you have a multitude of tones that you can choose from. But the VDI number just helps you give a little guesstimate what it's going to be in the ground.
We asked Deus users to send us photos of some of their remarkable finds. In this next video, you'll see some Deus dandies. Take a look. Impressive finds. Thanks to all who sent in their photos. If you have a great find, send us a photo with you and your Deus and another photo of just your find. Send them to this email address on your screen. We look forward to showing off your great finds on the next show. Dave, one of our team members, is not only a metal detectorist, but he's also a professional comedian. His name is Todd Roy.
If you're new to metal detecting or upgrading to a new machine, and it can be somewhat difficult, frustrating, and a bit intimidating. So I would like to introduce to you team member Todd Roy. Todd will take you on a journey each month as he navigates the ins and outs of the XP Deus as a newbie. He's a stand-up comic and host of Tonfest from Los Angeles, California, Mr. Todd Roy.
Hi. First off, I did not find anything valuable during this episode. I mean, I did find stuff. It just wasn't the stuff I was hoping for. And I think this is a really good episode, so I hope you'll stick around and watch it. But I'm telling you this right at the start to try to save you time in case you came here looking for a metal detectorist that was going to be pulling awesome loot out of the dirt or finding amazing artifacts. That doesn't happen in this episode. It will eventually, but not in this episode. If you want to see stuff like that, go check out Dr. Tone's 24K.
1865, seated dime, baby.
Everything he touches seems to be precious and rare. It's incredibly annoying to watch, for me. Or you can go check out the XP Deus channel. Every time Gary goes out on a day trip, that guy pulls in more metallic coins in the tip jar at the local pub.
It's a Roman coin, very close to the surface.
I had no idea that Australia had so many Roman coins, but apparently they do. Now before we get started, there's a couple of things. First off, the items I found in the last episode I realized were not precious Nazi artifacts. This is not a Nazi denture, nor is this a Nazi bottle cap. I was just maybe a little overly excited because that was the first time I took my metal detector out into a real place. Also, if you have a friend that wants to go metal detecting but they don't have a metal detector, you may want to discourage them, or you could possibly end up lying about losing your car keys just so you can get some quality search time in. I might have got a nickel hit.
You need to get a keys hit so we can get the out of here.
Whoa, no, it's good times. And finally, I got a fan letter from a guy named Justin. Justin writes, "Dear Todd, We love your videos. We have a drinking game. Every time you find junk, we all do a shot. Well, Justin, I appreciate that you've built a drinking game around the quality of my finds, but I'm warning you right now, if you and your friends play that drinking game while watching this episode, you're all gonna die. Now, for this episode, I did find a really cool place to go metal detect. When doing some research, I found an old issue of Desert Magazine from March 1968, and in this magazine was a cool article about the abandoned Dale mining district that still may have some standing structures, which would be awesome. Also, there were some cool ads for metal detectors, which I thought was a very good sign. So I continued to read on about this dead gold-producing town that was apparently huge, and I saw that the article also included a hand-drawn map showing the location, which would come in handy and certainly help ensure for a carefree, fun, and safe metal detecting trip out to the remains of the New Dale mining district. And that is where we are going, and I even printed out a copy of this map to keep as a backup. If it was good enough for them, it'll be good enough for me. And also, I have a feeling that my phone's GPS isn't going to work out there, and by out there, I mean the high desert. To get there, it's a bit of a drive. If you live here in North Hollywood, you want to take the 134 out to the 210, and take that to the 10, which will take you to the 62, and go through Joshua Tree out to 29 Palms, carry on for another 12 miles until you see the Old Dale turnoff, take a right into the desert, go up into the mountains, and then hopefully you will find New Dale. But why listen to me talk about it when I'm already driving through the desert? Todd, take it away.
Thanks, Todd. Now, please let me concentrate. I'm driving to this place, New Dale. Obviously, the reason it became a ghost town was because no one could get to it. All right, it's official. This map pretty much sucks. That's where we are, somewhere up there. More than likely, I'm gonna roll over. What'd you do today, Todd? Wrecked my car? Oh yeah, $2,000 transmission right there. Fun times. Just so much fun.
I actually found the place. All right, let me get my gear. I'll be right back.
Dave, that Todd Roy is funny, and he's really starting to learn his XP Deus, but it's great to have him as a part of Team USA.
Yeah, he's a character. I got to meet him last year in Los Angeles. We got to hunt together. He knew absolutely nothing about the Deus, but now he's really learning to pick it up. And, you know, in his upcoming videos, we might see an A-lister doing a cameo.
Any hints?
Maybe Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wow, that'd be impressive. Now, people can find his videos and others. Where can they find them?
Well, for Todd's videos and from others from around the world, you can go to xpmetaldetectors.com.
Yeah, and he does find some coins and things in some of his videos. He doesn't find nails in every video that he does. Next, we travel to Clearwater Beach, Florida, near Pier 60 for some beach detecting with She Detector. All of us here in Wisconsin are jealous right now with all the snow that we have, but being on the beach, great spot to be. Great looking video here too. Check out what She Detector found with her XP Deus.
All right guys, thanks. Yes, I'm out here on location. Today we're going to be metal detecting with the XP Deus. So let's see what we can find. Pretty sure we've got another coin here. I think I hear it. Yep, there it is. Boop. Yep. Alright guys, so I've got a target here. It's kind of doing a double beep. It's like whoop 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 whoop. It's ringing up as a solid 93. So maybe it's another coin. My coins have been going like whoop 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 whoop. Alright, so I got it. Woo! Check it out, guys. Holy jeepers. Woo! All right, check this out. So we've got our first ring find with the Deus. There it is. Look at how beautiful. Let's see if it's got any markings. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So, looks like it's silver. Yep, 925 silver. All right, check that out. Nice, beautiful ring find with the XP Deus. Woo! Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for my hunt today. The XP Deus was fantastic here at the beach. Let's go back to you guys in the studio.
Dave, beach hunting looks awesome. How about a road trip?
I'm way ahead of you, Mike, but you know what? We'll be detecting pretty soon once the snow melts.
The 3 feet of snow?
Yeah.
Let's head back over to the UK where Gary Blackwell from XP Deus Detectors Skills School is standing by with 2 of his mates who use different versions of the Deus. Gary, take it away.
I'm with 2 of my old mates, Steve and Gary. We're on a Roman site. We're going to use the Deuses. Now, Steve, he doesn't like change. He likes to use traditional methods. Suffice to say, he's still on version 2. Gary here, he likes to try all the modern stuff and all the gadgets. He's on version 4.1 with the high frequency coil. So what's happening, we're going to have a wiggle around on this little Roman site and just compare signals, compare targets and see what happens. So, come and join us.
Well, for a long time I was using the Fisher, but my friend there, Gary, he had a Deus for about a year before I decided to get one myself, and purely because his find rate was so much better than mine. There was various things. He was getting deeper signals, clearer signals, and more signals. And I've still kept my Fisher as a backup machine, but I haven't touched it since I bought the Deus. And learning curve wise, I suppose within one morning of using this, I was finding things. So there was no real difficulty, no difficulty changing over at all. I just kept it on factory settings to start with. And I've never looked back really.
Yeah, that's when I dig any tailor rig. Oh, I can see it straight away. That looks like a Roman coin. Don't need the pinpointer for that one. Yeah, Roman coin. Probably 3rd century, I would say. The emperor on that side, which isn't a bad actually. You do get better ones, but seeing as the coin's probably 1800 years old, it's not bad since it's been lying in the ground for all that time. We're the first people to pick it up since then. That's the amazing thing about detecting in England, is something like this. You know, it's a Roman coin, it's 1800 years old, it's been lying in the ground for nearly 2,000 years, and as you can see on a live dig, we're the first people to hold it since the person who dropped it 1800 years ago. This is what we love about metal detecting in the UK, and this is what I love about the Deus. It can find me things like this, and if I don't find anything else for the rest of the day, I'm a happy man. I'm going back with a coin that is nearly 2,000 years old. It's fantastic.
In fact, we'll turn it over just in case. I'm quite convinced that will be iron. And again, it's another little eye in the area. Not much chance of getting out in the first shovelful. Maybe. Definitely got a crackle to it. Showing up 53. Oh, you can see it. Well, there you go, it wasn't iron at all. So it proved it was worth digging. It's actually a Roman coin. Now that shows you that signals aren't always as good as you think they may be. Let's get that side of wipe. What we got on there? There's a head there, probably 4th century. And that side, I think it's a wreath or a laurel. Now that sounded like, well, I wasn't going to dig that because I thought it might be iron, but it proves that sometimes you just go with your hunch.
Got a signal here. Another one. It's coming through about 86 on the ultimate program, 54 kilohertz. the dig me signal any day of the week, that. It's in the clump. Nope. Looks like we got a hammered coin. Let's have a look. Yeah. Quite a common one, but it's an Edward penny. So it's 1200s. Not too sure which one it is. It's probably Edward the First, because they're quite common. But yeah, let's see if I can get the mint out of it. Civitas, London. So Civitas meaning city, and obviously London being London. So that was minted in London, and that's an Edward the First penny. That's the high frequency coil again, doing the business. Version 4.1. Excellent.
Right, I think that's got to be find of the day. A lovely little Roman silica. Great condition. Soil's made it go a bit purple, but that'll clean up nice and silver. So I don't know who the Emperor is yet. Let me turn it over. And it's a wreath again on that side. Wonderful coin, well pleased with that.
And that's the end of my short video. What a great bunch of guys Gary and Steve are. They really know their XP Deuses, but they openly admitted they're still learning them. What about those suspicious signals? How many times do we leave them knowing or thinking that they're iron? And yet Steve pulls out some Roman coins. Well, as you can see, detecting in the UK is not always full of Roman coins. We get our bullets and our shotgun cartridges and our foil, just like you guys over in the US. But I think what we've seen today, you can adapt some of that mentality into your searching in the US. So, with all that said and done, it's back over to Dave and Mike in the studio. Thanks for watching.
Dave, that's one thing nice about the Deus. You can stick with an older version or update, but what you don't have to do is buy a new detector.
Absolutely. The Deus has had 3 updates in the last couple years, and they were all free. That's 3 detectors I didn't have to buy.
And saving you thousands of dollars. Now, I understand, very easy to update too.
Very easy, but you have to have a PC. Mac won't work.
Good advice. You can be an XP Deus team member by sending us your video. We are looking for completed videos that have professional audio and video quality. What does that all mean? Well, to tell us more about what we are looking for in a video, let's head over to one of our team members, Steve Gropp, who will talk us through what components a quality metal detecting video must have. Steve, take it away.
Thanks, guys. As you both know, nothing beats the excitement of an awesome find. And what better way to capture those moments and share them with the rest of the world than with a well-made video. I'm here to give a few tips on the best ways to preserve your detecting experiences, to share through social media like YouTube, Facebook, and of course with us at XP Deus Team USA. We really want you all to become team members and share your videos with us. It doesn't take a lot of expensive equipment these days. In fact, if you've got a smartphone, a digital camera, GoPro or other action camera, or a drone outfitted with a camera, then you're ready to go. It's how you use any or all of these that is going to determine how effective they are. Your video will help us learn about you, about how you use your XP detectors and other equipment, about your part of the world, and of course, about those incredible finds. And if you follow a few simple but important rules, you can ensure the best quality. Let's start with the basics. Try to keep your video to just a few minutes or less. It really comes down to thinking about the shot before recording and editing as you shoot, so you don't have to go through a lot of extra footage that might never be used. That way your videos will look much better. Your videos should tell a story. Give some details about where and why you're detecting. Talk about the local history with information about the location, and definitely try to add details about how you are detecting. This can both fill time between swinging and digging, and it will educate us about the machine you're using and your most effective settings. Mix up your shots. Wide shots to show off your location, medium shots to get us closer to the subject, and when you're getting that money shot of the great find, make sure you get a nice, focused, tight shot so we can see what you see clearly. While not necessary, aerial shots with the drone can add some real flair. And if you are interviewing someone, make sure to frame them in a natural way, keeping the camera steady with a tripod if you have one. Now, two things I cannot stress enough. Audio quality is really important. Be aware of your surroundings and the ambient noise that comes with it. If it's windy out, then that's what we're going to hear. Maybe edit in some narration over video that has poor audio. When talking, make sure you speak in a natural way, clearly and with good volume. Finally, the way you shoot is very important. Try not to hold your camera in a portrait position like this. Shoot everything horizontally in landscape fashion so that you're using the entire image, and keep the camera steady. Mike and Dave, these are really just a few pointers to get started with. There's a lot I can share about how to put together your footage with apps and editing software, and a ton of other information about the variety of equipment you can use. We'll save that for later. For now, just focus on the basics. Get comfortable with the equipment you're using, develop your own style, and of course, be yourself. If you'd like to have your video featured on XP Deus Team USA, email them to xpdteamusa@gmail.com, and they may be featured on a future episode. Mike and Dave, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. Great advice. Again, send your videos to the email address you see on your screen, and we will select a handful of videos each month for the show. Review Steve's tips before getting started. And by all means, Dave, we want people to go out and have fun with this.
Absolutely, Mike. Don't be shy. You can use your GoPro camera or your phone, whatever you have. Just go out, do a little experimentation, and just send us your videos.
And as we mentioned earlier in the show, don't forget about the photos. Take a photo of you and your dais, a photo of your find, and Dave, send it to us. We'll get that on as well.
Absolutely.
Our plan is to do one show a month, so get out with your XP Deus and have some fun. We would like to thank St. Norbert College, producer-editor John Devroy, St. Norbert student Zach Smith, team member Steve Gropp, XP Deus expert Gary Blackwell, and the entire XP Deus Team USA. For Dave D, I'm Mike Counter. Until next time, have fun swinging your XP Deus.